the secret to making progress, both with fitness, with your business, and any domain of life. This is a collection of thoughts, insights, summaries from books around systems engineering. Really exciting topic, I know, but ultimately it's the hack for progress across the board. Since we're fitness coaches, what is fitness? It's the ability to perform something commensurate with the demands placed on the body. And how do people make progress? They do a thing that's a bit hard until their body adapts, and then they get better and they repeat that thing. Not really much more to it. And doing that thing is the small daily habits that add up to big things. If you're a fitness coach, what is the needle mover that you just wish your clients did every day? The one thing that if they just showed up and did that, and in the check-in with you, they were like, hey, I did my blank. What is that? If you're not a coach, what is that in your own fitness, in your own progress, in your own training? What's the one thing that if you check it off, you're like, yeah, okay, if I just did this for 1,000 days in a row, I'm going to completely level up in that domain. With your fitness, it's very clear. Usually, especially for physique stuff, it's consistently hitting your calorie goal relative to your target and doing the volume, the reps, miles, whatever it is. If you want to grow your business, there is one equivalent, and it's the most boring thing that everyone ignores, but it's your pipeline. You have a pipeline of potential clients and a pipeline of actual clients. And the goal is to turn all of these potential people into actual ones. And so the daily action for that is speaking to people, putting your offer in front of those potential clients on repeat. Obviously, once you have that working, you know that it's working, then you start building automations. You start creating a 14-day automated sequence that turns people from stranger into client on repeat, and then you can kind of step back from the whole thing and you can become a business operator rather than someone who's always doing manual steps. The takeaway from this is direction is more important than speed. Direction, more important than speed. So what I mean by that is once you know what reps you need to do, then you go and do the reps. But if you have somebody who is every week making sure that they eat their banana every day, all right, cool story, bro, you've eaten a banana every day, but it's not going to move the needle in any direction. But they think they're being really consistent. Oh, I'm doing the reps. Or I'm doing loads of these things and, glute band kickbacks or whatever. It's like, if it's not going to move them towards the goal, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time. They're better off just sitting on the sofa. So, direction over speed. Step 1, figure out what it is that you want. Step 2, identify what's in the way. Step 3 is then, what is the behavior that's causing the thing that's in the way? And step 4 is, what's the belief or the desire that's causing that behavior? Gary Keller says, time on a task over time beats talent every time. So therefore, our job is to organize our life to enjoy the passage of time as we work towards our targeted outcomes. So doing stuff that you hate, following a training program that you don't enjoy, but it's optimal. It's optimal on paper. You'll stick to it for a week, 2 weeks, and then you'll fall off the wagon because it's unpleasant. And no one wants to do things that they hate. So the solution is find what you love, and then you'll do more of it. The classic quote of the man who loves walking will walk more miles than the one who doesn't. So time on a task over time beats talent every time. How do we then organize our life so that we're just doing the time, we're doing the volume, and it's not painful, it's not difficult? If you were to design a diet for someone, you would want to design it out of foods that they enjoy so that they can stick to it long term. If you have a vegan and you say, no, you've got to eat steak every day, like they're not going to stick to it very long, even if you think that steak is optimal. So the whole challenge and the point of this video, if you get one thing to take away from it, is how do you organize your life to enjoy the passage of time so that as you work towards your targeted outcomes, it just happens effortlessly. And there's the secret. So if you can learn to enjoy the effort through whatever hack you need to do, even if it's goofy, even if it's silly, it's going to drag you towards your goals. Like the world will have no choice but to throw itself at you. Yeah, Miles, automate and delegate. This is it. Like, how do you get that the crap off your plate so that the stuff that you're moving towards is things that just happen naturally? So let's use an example. Okay, Tom, great. Getting client inquiries. perfect example. So we figured out what we want. I would actually say that getting client inquiries is a good step towards there, but there's probably an ultimate thing. And I know we can get abstract and philosophical about this, where you can say, I want to get client inquiries, but really I want clients. I want them to sign up. Once they sign up, then what? Okay, well, I can help them improve their life. Great. So 2 benefits from there, which is I get to help somebody achieve a goal and they pay me for the privilege of that. Great. So that's what I want. That's kind of, if you play that out, there's 2 things in the way. There's either traffic or conversion. It's either the number of potential clients landing in my world, or it's that what number of those people actually sign up for my coaching. So that's what's in the way. We go, okay, well, let's say in this case, the thing that's in the way of me getting more client inquiries is I've got 500 Instagram followers and it's mostly my mum and my mum's friends and stuff. So, all right, well, I don't have enough leads. So what's the behavior that's causing the thing that's in the way? The behavior of I don't have enough leads. Well, it's my lack of posting consistently. It's my lack of running ads. It's my inconsistent messaging. It's my unclear niche. Okay, so that's the stuff that's stopping the lead flow. Right, and then what's the belief or the desire that's causing the behavior? Well, I haven't posted because I'm scared of posting. I hate talking on camera. I don't enjoy social media. I'm telling myself stories about social media is toxic and all of that stuff. Okay, fine. And I don't run ads because I don't know where to start. Okay, so what's underneath that is probably fear of getting it wrong. So it's really interesting that we've gone from what we want, which is I want more clients, I want more lead flow. And what's underneath that is fear of getting it wrong, fear of being seen, fear of success. So we've turned something that's a very concrete goal into a place that we have got the brakes on. Isn't that interesting? So then it just becomes about how do we take the brakes off? How do we get rid of those underlying fears and things stopping us from moving forward so that we can unlock the lead flow, we can unlock the conversion, we can then get more purpose in life, we can get more freedom, all the good stuff that's on the other side of that. That's a great framework that I picked up from Mario Lanzarote. He's done a session in our Inner Circle program as well, along with Miles actually, who's on this live stream. Just to recap that, 4 steps. What do you want? What's in the way? What's the behavior that's causing the thing that's in the way? And then what is the belief? What is the desire that's causing that behavior? If you can uproot that, you unlock effortless progress. And then what happens is you have organized your life to enjoy the passage of time as you work towards your goals. So Joe, this is another great example. Med school is an absolute grind. So if anyone doesn't know me, in my past life, I was a medical doctor, and med school is very much the sensation of like drinking from a fire hose. You're just getting blasted with information, and it's painful, and it's the idea that if you have to eat 10 pancakes a day. If you miss a day, then the next day you've got to eat 20 pancakes. And then the next day you've got to eat 30 pancakes and so on. So 10 pancakes a day is not actually that hard to do, but if you miss a day, you're really fucked. How do you make eating 10 pancakes a day enjoyable? You pick a sauce that you like on the pancakes. You switch it up. You add some, maybe you have savory pancakes one day with some tomato and pecorino cheese. So it's how do you align the study with the enjoyment? For me, I'd prefer to spend less time doing something more unpleasant than spending more time doing something that's kind of mildly unpleasant. So I'd prefer short, sharp discomfort. So for me, I'm like, okay, what's the most effective way to do that? It's Anki. ANKI, just the flashcard app. Absolutely brutal. I made 6,000 or 8,000 cards, I think, and just hammered them. And it's just forcing that active recall. Very time efficient. I was quite short on time. That's what I did. And then I just made sure that I was in an environment where I could enjoy it the most. Just hammer the Anki, do the volume. Now with GPT, it's a real double-edged sword, isn't it? I wouldn't want to be a student now knowing that ChatGPT exists. Like an atrophy of the brain. Every time you need an answer and you don't put in a little bit of mental effort and you go, I'll just ask ChatGPT. But at the same time, if you use it resourcefully, you can dump in a whole bunch of context information and it can make flashcards for you. So at least the creation of the flashcards is something that you can get around. Anyway, what's the 80-20? The one thing that if you just did that, you showed up, did the reps, what's the one key needle mover? Once I've identified my direction, that's more important than speed, and then just hammer that needle mover. Anything that's in the way, can we eliminate it? Is it an emotional block? Is it an environmental block? Is it something that we can do to make it more enjoyable? And then just hammer that. Darren Brown's formula for success is talent times energy. Talent isn't something you're just born with as well. It's a flywheel. The more energy you apply at something, even if you're shit at it, you get better. And then you multiply the more energy times more talent, etc. So if you can get everything else off your desk, focus your mind on one thing, hammer the needle mover, take off the brakes, you're unstoppable. If I'm struggling with something I like to ask is, what would happen if I just did an unreasonable amount of volume on that thing? If I took the piss with the volume, usually if it's training related, it'd be like, okay, I might get a repetitive strain injury. All right, well, how can I just take one step back from that and just did that as a blast for 6 weeks? Probably make more progress in that time than you would in 6 months. Greg McKeown wrote a book called Essentialism. It was a banger, big bestseller. He followed up with another one that was not as popular, but it's about this exact topic called Effortless. And it's just how can you hook the thing that you enjoy with the thing that you should be doing, and when you align them, it's a big win. Shane Parrish says 90% of success can be boiled down to consistently doing an obvious thing for an uncommonly long period of time without convincing yourself that you're smarter than you are. That used to be my mistake, of thinking that I could find some hack, some shortcut to just do the boring volume over time. The hacks will come, and you'll get better at doing the boring volume and so on. But as long as the central focus is, I'm going to be a bit bored doing this thing, but if I do an unreasonable amount of volume for an uncommonly long period of time, the world is going to beg you to hit your goals. This stuff compounds. So you don't have to be puritanical about it. You don't have to be a David Goggins. The compounding happens if you just stay in it long enough, and it's possible to set it up to enjoy. I'm talking about you coaches here with your business. If you're looking to get more leads, you're looking to get more clients, you're looking to improve your retention and so on. A lot of the coaches we speak to don't even know what their bottleneck is. And so it's very hard to then solve it, or they're trying to do everything and they're like, oh my God, business is really hard. It's overwhelming. Yeah, of course it is. It's even worse when you don't know what problem you're solving. So you need to know your numbers. If you have a financial tracker, if you have a diagnostic process, if not, we have one. Feel free to shoot me a DM and I'll send you it. Something we normally charge for in our program, but I can send you the link if you've made it this far on the live stream, that will help you identify where your bottleneck is in your business. Is it a lead flow, a traffic bottleneck? Is it conversion and sales? Is it retention, or is it coaching? And then once you identify that, it's very easy to just dial in, nail it, unlock the bottleneck, and then you have a new problem. Great, but it's a better quality of problem when you've solved the previous one. So know what problem you're solving, ask yourself, what would this look like if it was easy? And then align your life to achieve your goals by enjoying the passage of time as you move towards them. Remove the blocks, remove the emotion that's driving the thing that's in the way. David Hawkins said, it's pleasing to discover that it isn't necessary to drive oneself forward. Instead, you can simply allow yourself to move forward as blocks are removed. Thus, one becomes attracted by the future rather than propelled by the past. And that's a great place to be, because then you're operating consciously. You're doing things in a way that you are aligned with. You're doing it without being driven by trauma. A couple of other thoughts on this before we wrap up. Identity first. Identity is the thing that aligns you. It's the North Star that moves everything else forward. So the results that you get are they're not the attainment of greatness, they're confirmation of the greatness that you already are. If your identity is already aligned, then when you get the results, it's like, yeah, of course, because I'm that kind of person. If your identity is not aligned, what happens? Then if you're identifying as a failure, when you hit a success, it's a surprise. You're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. And the brain's like, well, how do I process this? It'll self-sabotage. It'll be like, this isn't right. This doesn't match up with my identity. Boom, pulls you right back down. So thank you for making it this far. I hope that was useful. I've got so much more on this, but I'm going to leave it there. Main takeaway, direction over speed, the 4-step framework. Figure out what you want, what's in the way, what's the behavior causing the thing that's in the way, and what's the belief or the desire or the emotion that's causing the behavior. Get clear on those 4 things, and you've smashed it.